What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode on all the mods 10 to the skies. And in today's episode we're hopping into auto ender crafting. And if you guys would like to suggest future series or video ideas, then join my Discord in the description below. So we're going to be working in this space, and hopefully this is a big enough area in order to get all of this done. So first things first, we gotta add more patterns to our terminal. And we've currently only got one left, so we're going to have to make a lot more of these blank patterns. Let's request that like that, and already we've got 64 patterns. Now, diving into the extended crafting mod, this is what we're going to be using to craft ourselves the Vibranium ingots. An auto ender crafter, and in order to get all this, we're going to need a lot more. So, let's start with the Elite Auto Crafting Table, because this is what we're going to be needing. So, black iron, crystalline components, redstone components. So, these are going to be our main things, using black dye, iron. Black dye will probably be our best. So, we can make that pattern right there. And we just got to go through and craft a lot of patterns like we previously had done. Okay, all of this should be the patterns we need for now. Keyword, for now. So let's throw all these in, and again, going downwards, because this is the fastest way. I'm slowly learning, guys. Slowly learning. So let's just dump all these in. Okay, so now if we go in here and we just search extended, we should be able to craft ourselves the elite crafting table, and everything should craft, going from the basic tiers to the advanced tiers and all the components in between. So if you click that, we're crafting, you can see, and just like that we have crafted ourselves this elite crafting table. So with this elite crafting table, we can just throw this down in this corner for now. So this elite crafting table will allow us to make crystalline, in which then we can make an auto crafting table, which will just do this process for us. Okay, so for the crystalline, in order to craft this, we're going to need diamonds, lapis, gold, iron, and nether stars. So let's just get a bunch of all that. So there's our gold. I think it's a diamond. Lapis, which all these we have a loads of, and nether stars I believe was the last one, which again we can just request. So let's say 128 just for now. We'll get this on like a constant loop, so it's just constantly crafting, and we can use that by getting the crafting storage card, which we can filter into the auto crafters. So if we come in here, I'm missing iron. There we go. So now I should be able just to click this, and it should actually make it all for us. So just for out like that, we have crystalline ingots. Now for this auto crafter, it doesn't look like we actually need many. 4 might actually be enough. Just to be safe, we'll get 24. So heading back over here to our pattern providers, we can now go to the auto crafter. We can request crystalline components, and then we should also be able to request, I believe that's it actually, isn't it? We'll also add this in. Because I believe, do we actually need the crafting pattern for this? I don't think we do. Well, let's go in here and let's just dump in this right here. And then with our crafting table that we've just made, we should be able to use this in the recipe to craft the auto crafter. And this is one thing I did not automate. The redstone components. I didn't even notice them in the recipe. And then if we try this again, should be able to craft all of that. And we're missing stuff. And like that, we now have ourselves the elite auto crafting table. Now the reason why this thing is so good and it's going to be so powerful is because we can now put the recipe in and we can lock it in place. So if we get back all the resources, okay, so now that we've got the recipe here, we should be able to click this and now it is saved. So if we take out these, no, apparently we did that wrong. Now if we take it out, yeah, like that, you can see where the items are. So now they're going to permanently be there. So if we provide this power, we can just shove this on the side of this. So now this is fully getting powered. And I believe it takes out of the storage above it. So if we do a barrel, if we just get a barrel quickly. And we throw this on right here. If we throw all this in, you can see it is slowly filling up. And then once this is filled in all its items, it should start crafting. Yeah, like that. So now we're crafting crystalline ingots, but we need a way to pull this from our applied energetics, so our ME system, into this barrel and then back out. And I believe we can do that through a pattern provider. Okay, so with this pattern provider, we should be able to smack that on there. And if we turn this onto crystal, maybe we can actually automate this. So now if I again go to extended, and if I request, let's say 10, will that send all the items? Okay, so if we move this to the barrel, and then if we throw it in, yeah, so now it has filled it enough to where we get our recipe. But it didn't craft enough. And that's because we have not got a way to pull out of this. So if we get a X, is it the export? Import. I think it's import. I throw that on there. Does this now take out the items? So let's request 10. This should now fill them into here. Should give it enough resources in order to make all 10. And then when they're in here, they should be getting pulled out with this import bus. And once they're all pulled out, there we go. And it should not throw them in there, which it has not done. It's gone straight back into our ME system. Beautiful. So this is now up and running. Now, if you do have problems, I'd probably move the import bus so it's on a different like wire, a different cable, because it could cause a few problems. However, in our case, it worked perfect. Worked better than I expected. So now we have crystalline automated, and we have everything else automated. It's time to automate this. Now to make an ender crafter, we just simply need some ender ingots, which again, it all comes down to making patterns for it. And then we'll just be able to constantly flow all this. So let's make a pattern. Throw this in here somewhere. And then we should be able to request that. And now, there we go. We have our ender crafter. Now it's time to make it into an auto ender crafter. So let's craft all that up. Boom. No, we've already done that one. Did I not craft them? Just like that, we now have our Alternator crafter, and in order for this to work, we need to power it with all these alternators. So I believe we can do these alternators in a 7x7. So for what? So let me demonstrate this. So what a 7x7 means is, I believe it's just 3 blocks in every direction. So if we place like here, we got 3 there. We got 3 there. Now, hopefully it don't get in the way of this. We might have to move that back a block. We've got 1, 2, 3. Alternator crafter there. And then it'll be 1, 2, 3. And then this is just the same process on every single side. And that makes our 7x7. So, how many of these will I need? I do not know. But we should have all the resources just to craft loads of them. So let's say we wanted 2 stacks of these ingots. I don't know how many of these alternators it will actually get us. Gets us a stack. And that's fine. However, in case we need more, you guessed it, we're going to make a pattern for it. There we go. Throw this in here. Now we've got our pattern, we can just keep on requesting it because I don't know the exact amount that you need. So for this to work, we're going to put this one at the bottom and we're just going to make a full platform. So that's 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now we can just simply fill this in. And we're already down by half a stack of blocks. So that costed us almost like 40, that's like what, 49 pieces? And that's just for the one layer. So let's say we wanted some more. Let's ask for 200 of these things. We should have all the ingredients in order to make it. But not only on the bottom, we also want them on the top. And I don't know how these place. I don't know if it's going to place it this way. Yeah, so it's going to place it a bit weird. So we're just going to have to fill this in quickly. Okay, now using this one that we have, we should just be able to bring all these up. There we go. Select one of the blocks. Okay, what's that? It places these the wrong way. Okay, so the top ones we're just going to place ourselves. But firstly, we need to create an area in order for this to actually pull items out and pump items into it. Which we probably should have done first so we could build around it. So in here, this is our Ender Crafter. And what we're going to be crafting is Vibranium. Now, for this Vibranium, we need different geodes just in their shard form. Now, if you remember a few episodes ago, we made a geode farm. However, we're farming it in smelted form. So we need to create another one of these, but just for shards. And the ones I have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know how many we did here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it fits perfectly. So what we need to do, we need to make ourselves another one of these pickaxes. And it is the Eclipse pickaxe. So let's make us the Eclipse pickaxe. We're going to get fortune on this. Oh, we already have one. Okay, so with all these resources, now just fully farming, we should start stocking up a supply of them. And you can see it's already going pretty fast. We have like 4,000 of each. And the recipe requires 1 of everything apart from the uranite, I think it is, which it needs 2. But in order for us to do this, we first got to get the recipe for the Vibranium in here. Now, we're missing all the items on us. So let's quickly go get all the items we need in order to make this. Okay, so now we've got all the items. We can literally just put it in here, and I did not mean to do that. I need to somehow get rid of its power. If I just request a bunch, we can then do this, shift left click to save it. And now it should just be making them. So when we put all the items in, I don't know why it's not doing it right now. Okay, so this is the recipe. Now we need a way to get everything in here. So this power flux needs to go for a second. So the way we have to do this is, I think if we use an interface, we've already got the wireless thing back here, but I do need one there. So we're just going to get some pipes going down. If we lose out on a few of these alternators, it's honestly fine by me. I'm not too bothered because sometimes I leave this on overnight, it just AFKs, and we make a crap ton. So in this interface, we need to put the items in that's going to be sending, and a crafting card, so it constantly crafts the crystalline ingots if we run out. So in here, does that just take it all? It just takes it all. But you can see it's putting it into the right slot now. So we just need to filter every single one of these in the top area, and the crystalline ingot right at the end. So all this, I think we're going to have it just craft one at a time, or we could just throw it all in. Yeah, we'll just throw it all in. So let's get a crafting card. So crafting card. Throw that in here. So this is going to craft the crystalline for us, is the idea. Okay, so now that we've linked this to our ME system, it is slowly using our power. So let's just get our flux point in here. Oh, however. So you can see it is now sending out all the items. It's just constantly going. Slowly crafting this, I believe. Yeah, there we go. It is crafting that. Now, if you give this some acceleration cards, it'll speed up the process of pulling this out. So let's just do that. And you can see as soon as fall comes in, it's straight away out. So now this should keep up a lot better. And it is filling this. However, it just stacks up in here. We've not got a way to send it back. Huh. Okay, so we've just linked it to this wireless connector at the back using an import bus. And we're just throwing some accelerator cards and just put the filter just to Vibranium so it doesn't actually pull out these items. And you can see it crafts and it sends it into here. And if we come in here and we search up Vibranium, we're slowly starting to produce Vibranium. Now, the only way we can speed this up really is the crafting process. You can see right now, it's going at a moderate rate. Not too fast, not too slow. And the way we do these, this is with this alternator. And as you see me do before, we just need to build this up. So the more alternators we have, the faster this full process will go. So now that we have all our blocks in, we can literally just build around it. And that alone, it's made a slight difference. Yeah, you can see the difference for sure. So this is what it currently looks like. And this is what it looks like now. So you can see the slight difference. It's not huge, but compared to having literally like 2 or 4 or whatever of the alternators you had, just to start this full process off, it is definitely an improvement, none the least. Now all these particles are going to be a bit buggy. I don't know if there's a way to turn them off. But apart from that, we're constantly crafting crystalline. And then it's pulling it out, sending it into this system. And then our little geo farm that we've literally just made this episode, our new one. All this is coming out of our ME system as well. And getting sent into the auto ender crafter, which is essentially crafting us all this vibranium, which we can see in here. We already have 350 pieces of vibranium ingots. Now, is vibranium better than supremium? So it's 5 armor, 10 armor, 8 armor, 6 armor. We don't want the mage. We want this one. And it is a lot better. I don't know how I'd be able to fly once I switch armor. But that's a problem for another episode. Ooh. And what has this guy got for us? Captive Dreams. I believe we already have one of them. Yes, we do. But if you guys enjoy this episode and would like to see more on this series, and oh my god, we're missing one. And would like to see more on this series, then don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe bell notifications turned on. I'll see you all in the next one.